Ken, played by William Roach, is back on Coronation Street, according to official spoilers for next week's episodes, as his granddaughter, Amy Barlow, El Mulvaney, turns to him for help. The youngster has been left with no choice but to leave her family home after her mother and father disapproved of her relationship with Jacob Hay, Jack James Ryan. However, the legendary ITV soap character could discover Amy's boyfriend is using her as a pawn in an extremely dangerous game which could put the whole family at risk. The drama continues in next week's episodes of the weeknight serial drama as Amy believes her grandfather could take her side instead of Tracy Barlow, Kate Ford, and Steve McDonald, Simon Gregson. Trying to be savvy, the youngster shows Ken a budget plan she has put together which shows she would be able to manage without the financial support of her parents. Needing some funding though, she asks the legendary character if he would release the money her grandmother, Deirdre Barlow, and Kirkbride, put into a trust fund for her. Knowing he admires someone who puts their education first, the teenager plays on the fact she is going to go to university to her grandfather. Seeing the evidence in front of him, the soap veteran is ready and willing to transfer the money into Amy's account as she is also now 18 years old. It's not long before Ken tells Steve what he is planning to do for his granddaughter to help her with her future prospects. Knowing Jacob is involved with this somehow, the former Rover's return landlord implores his father-in-law to change his mind. The legendary character will have a lot to think about, but as he contemplates his decision, Steve continues with his vendetta to ensure Jacob is barred from everywhere on the cobbles. When he discovers his friend, Deb Allahan, Jimmy Harkishan, has given his daughter a job at the kebab shop, the father of four loses it. Storming around to see Dev, Steve tells him his daughter is now living with Jacob, the former drug dealer who ran his job from the chippy. Amy will be left frustrated as she is being blocked at every avenue, but someone who could be getting more irate is her boyfriend Jacob. The former drug dealer could have been relying on Ken to release the trust fund money as it could emerge he is in dire straits. Having cut ties with a drug gang, Jacob could owe them a huge amount of money which he doesn't have in his possession at the moment. Although he wasn't going to use his girlfriend as a way of getting money at first, hearing how much she could have in the bank may have made him change his mind. With Amy paying him to help with bills, he could have been planning on saving Deirdre's money in another account to pay off his debts. When Amy tells him her grandfather has changed his mind, the youngster could storm over to the Barlow household to confront the legendary character. As the two men come to blows over the money, Jacob could reveal his secret to Ken, explaining he is having to pay for leaving the drug gang. At first, the pensioner could be horrified to discover his granddaughter was being used as a pawn in an extremely dangerous game. However, he could soon take pity on the teenager as he can see how much Jacob is trying to change his life around following the events of last year. Changing his mind once again, the soap stalwart could tell the youngster he is going to release the funds, but he will have a condition. How well do you know your British soaps? How many times has Ian Beale been married in EastEnders? What is the name of Bianca Jackson and Ricky Butcher's son on EastEnders? On EastEnders in 2002, who accidentally ran Jamie Mitchell over in his car which caused his death? How many times has Corey's Steve McDonald been married? What happened to Emily Bishop in Coronation Street? Who murdered Maxine Peacock in Coronation Street in 2003? Which incident in 1993 killed off 4 characters in Emmerdale? When did the show stop being known known as Emmerdale Farm. On what day did Hollyoaks air its first episode? What was the name of the much-loved Coronation Street pet dog who was put down in April 2020 after 14 years? 1996 saw the arrival of one of Hollyoaks' all-time bad boys and rival of Kurt Benson, but who is he? Who is the longest-serving character on Coronation Street? Who shot Phil in EastEnders? How many fires have there been at Corey's Rover's return? Get out of my pub, you're no soaps fan. You're either too young to remember the big lines or have better things to do on weekday evenings. Casual viewer, you watch them sometimes so you kinda know what's been going on. Die-hard fan, you love watching the soaps so much your entire week is planned around when they air. In the spirit of truth and honesty, Ken would want Jacob to tell his girlfriend all about his money troubles and the support he needs. Jacob could agree to do so in order to keep the pensioner on his side, but once he has the money in his possession, the youngster could go back on his word. Ken would be shocked to discover Amy has handed over everything to her boyfriend, which is not what the pensioner could have wanted. He would have thought some of the money would have been held back so his granddaughter could invest in her future. Realizing Amy has no idea about why her boyfriend really needed the money, Ken will confront Jacob again, but will he manage to convince the youngster for a second time to confess his sins? Or will Ken tells his granddaughter she needs to report Jacob to the police and he exposes the former drug dealer's secret? Speaking with Express. Co.uk and other media, executive producer Ian MacLeod teases Jacob's reintroduction onto the cobbles and hinted at the drama to come. Ian said, "Jacob is trying to redeem himself. We discover things about how he arrived into the drug gang that will reframe people's view of him and make you see him in a slightly different light. Jacob did some heinous things, but Hess mature enough to realize that Hess got some amends to make," the soap boss explained. So will this all come out as Ken presses for the truth from Jacob?